那个火好像都在那里燃起一样，一下人惨了那味儿，就是个个都闻到臭啊。
This is the story we heard over and over again in Zhaoshi village, a small rural town in western China. Residents in this remote valley told us that last April, at around midnight, they were awakened by a loud explosion at this natural gas drilling site in their community. Those nearby saw a fireball rise 100 feet into the air. This grainy cell phone photograph was the only visual evidence we could find of the incident. Employees of Sinopec, the energy giant that runs the drilling rig, and village leaders are ordering residents not to speak about it.
他反正不准讲，没事的，他说没烧热，反正那些给我叫我那些人都是跳来的，都是黑跳来的，不准讲。
This is Jonah Kessel, a video journalist reporting for the New York Times. In February, I traveled with the reporter Keith Bradsher to these mountains in western China. Sinopec, China's largest energy company, has made the country's first commercially viable shale gas discovery here, turning this once quiet village into a boomtown. For China, shale gas offers great promise. It's a chance for the country to wean its dependence on energy imports and reduce its reliance on coal. But there are also safety concerns for the workers, residents, and the environment. The incident last April has many in this community worried. Sinopec officials say it was a controlled gas release and that no one was killed. Liu Jiajian was one of the closest residents to the explosion. She lives just about a 5-minute walk from the site.
听说是了吧？他因为他上班嘛，他台子上的人呀。他抬出来？不是，那架子上面，他要上班的架子上面噻，那就上面上去的人肯定没下来到嘛。
Miss Liu walked us to the drilling site where the incident took place. On the way, she told us that Sinopec officials visited her after the fire.
他不跟我们说，死人可能是死人来的，但是他不准说，他石油公司里面不准说。
Several minutes after we arrived at the drilling rig, a van full of officials showed up and demanded to know why we were there. They refused to give their names or business cards, or tell us if they worked for Sinopec. Although the company had told us that what had happened last April was a controlled gas release, these officials denied anything happened at all. It was clear our presence and questions were unwanted. The officials then tried to persuade us to go with them, to get tea, a practice police and officials use in China to unofficially interrogate people. Trying to avoid detainment and not have our footage confiscated, we politely refused the invitation and quickly drove to the nearest train station, where we were met by a plainclothes policeman who came by to make sure we had actually left. With Sinopec pouring money into the valley and high-rises under construction, in what had been an impoverished farming community, the local consensus is still to welcome the drilling rigs, even though residents are still uneasy and shaken about the explosion last April.